You think that doctors are here to help you to get better, but their job is really to help you to manage your illness with medication. And we know that because they completely ignore all the information that's out there right now that food has helped people to solve illnesses that they keep trying to say are insolvable. The fact that most of the research that's done is towards proving that food can't be the answer rather than seeing if it's having an impact. And the fact that most doctors are not even willing to look at the data when you present them with what you've been doing to your own body to feel better. If you continue to believe that the medical system is here to cure disease, to help you, you're going to keep ignoring the fact that the food you're eating is what's actually causing your health problems. In 2005, my grandmother passed away from complications of diabetes and metabolic disease. Now, my grandmother believed that the doctors were there to assist her, right? Looking out for her best interest. So she followed their directions and took their medications and had the procedures. And those medications basically stole her health. She got sicker and sicker. I fast forward to today where I look back on what happened there and realize that because my grandmother was the kind of person who believed in the goodness of people, she was a church-going, God-fearing woman, and she believed in the goodness of people, she never questioned what she was asked to take, what she was asked to do, and just genuinely expected that the medication and procedures would work and she would get better. My grandmother's belief in God and people helped me to believe in God and people, but it also helped me to believe in myself. And I feel like that piece of the puzzle has helped me over the years, that I believe in myself has helped me to be quick to question authority and to push for answers if things don't make sense to me. My belief in myself, I think, has helped me to see things a little differently. And I want to point out that you don't have to necessarily believe in God to believe in yourself, because we all believe in something. And the thing is, like, you believe that, for example, diabetes is an incurable disease until you know someone or you yourself cure your diabetes by eating properly. Like, seeing diabetes reversed helps us to understand that doctors can be wrong, right? Because they were saying, once you have diabetes, you have it forever. And here we have people who learn to eat a better way of eating and their metabolic situation improved and their health came back. That contradicts what we were believing before. Now, if I can reverse diabetes by eating healthy food, doesn't it stand to reason that it was the unhealthy foods that I was eating that caused the problem in the first place? Doctors never want to say that something is cured, right? They always want to say, oh, you're in remission or so. But that puts the label on me that I have this thing forever. It makes it seem like this problem exists inside of me and that the outside world had nothing to do with the problem being there. And I want us to challenge that, Wellness Warrior. I want us to question, why is it that they want us to think that once I have a disease, it cannot ever be gone from me? And in my mind, this is about medication. This is about insurance. Like, these two places where we will pay and pay and pay and pay forever because, well, if I have this disease, I have to take medication forever. Or if I have this disease, even though I have no symptoms of it anymore, my insurance went up and it's never going to come back down because you were diagnosed with diabetes. So therefore, forever, your insurance needs to be higher. There's so many places where they grab us, right? The medical system that we are in says that once your body is damaged, you will need medication forever. And then they give you this medication that has side effects. So there's the what the medication's supposed to do, and then the list, and sometimes long list of things that the medication will harm you with. And often doctors will say, oh, but those side effects are not typical. But then when we, regular people, talk to people who are taking the medication and ask, well, what kind of side effects? Often those not typical side effects are being repeated to us by multiple people that we would run into who are taking the medication. So is it true that these side effects are not typical? To me, that doesn't seem reality. But that's what we're told, right? And because we're told this, we take the medication, feel worse, go back to the doctor, get more medication, new side effects, get more medication. Versus, what happens when I learn that, oh, this thing that's bothering me, hip pain, joint pain, extra weight on my body, PCOS, all kinds of things, that I could use food and solve them. If I solve it with food, their side effect is good health. The side effect is no pain. The side effect is feel better. Why is it that we don't start with food? Food doesn't cost extra money into a system that we don't need to be in. We're living in a world where we are encouraged to entertain ourselves, amuse ourselves with food. And I want us to really stop doing that. And I want us to also understand how ridiculous it is that we were doing that in the first place. The origin of the word amuse means to deceive. Right? The origin of the word entertain means to hold on to, to maintain something. So we're being deceived and maintained in a bad situation because we keep using food to entertain ourselves, to amuse ourselves. And that's not what food is for. We're allowing these wicked food companies to keep us deceived and trapped, eating for fun while they make money. Wellness Warrior, it's a trap. And I want you to see it. It's a trap. What's really frustrating to me about all of this is that we humans are made to figure things out. We got to the level that we got to on this planet, right? We are the top of the food chain. We are strong, even though we're not the strongest animal on the planet. But we used our mind to learn and figure things out so that we could be in the position that we are. 500 years ago, we didn't have computers. We didn't have the technology to figure out food stuff the way that we have today. And we knew better than to eat poisonous plants. If somebody ate it and they got sick, we were like, oh, we shouldn't eat that thing. But today, it's like we don't have common sense. We will put a hot pepper in our mouth that's burning the heck out of us and believe that we should figure out how to keep it in there and not be burned by it. No, that's a definite signal that should not be in my mouth. I started making these videos after doctor after doctor after doctor told me that there's nothing to do about my inflammation issues. My hip issue is oh, it's not bad enough for surgery yet, so we're just going to wait for that to happen. But that's going to be the answer eventually. And I healed my entire body. All the inflammation that I lived with for 23-ish years, healed with food. We can figure this out if we listen to what our body is actually telling us. We're eating all this stuff that we shouldn't be eating, and then trying to use medication to overcome the stuff that we're eating that we should not be eating. I make these videos because I realized that my grandmother, my uncle, and my aunt all left too early due to metabolic issues. They left because they were eating the wrong foods. Unbeknownst to them, they were eating the wrong foods, and those foods were harming their bodies, right? Diabetes, cancer, and ruined their end of life, they didn't have a nice last 5 to 10 years. It was hard. It was painful. It was not fun. What is the point to live to 90 years old, even 100 years old, if your body is falling apart? If you're in agony and pain the whole time, the last 20 years of your life? We need to realize that all these life-saving, push us to 100 things that we're doing don't matter if we're in pain for the last 20 years, and still most of us are not making it to that 100-year mark. None of them, none of these, uncle, aunt, grandma did not make it to their 100, to their 80. What's happening? The foods that you are eating is causing the health that you are living. So now the question is, how do you feel? How's your body feeling? Do you have aches and pains? Are you at a good weight? How's your skin? Is your skin looking okay? If you have pain, obesity, skin issues, you need to look at your food. Good health comes from eating healthy food, period. If there's any health issue, metabolic, if there's anything wrong with you, you need to stop and look at the food you're eating. Because if you don't change the food, you're going to keep yourself on this bad path, ruining your health. You know, we talk about passing forward generational wealth. I want to be the first person in my family to pass forward generational health. I want to teach my kids that eating healthy food gives you a healthy body, and that healthy body would then take you as far into your lifespan as it can take you. But it needs to be healthy. If it's unhealthy, it can't take you very far. Wellness Warrior, are you going to give your kids generational health? In order to do that, you need to do it for yourself first, right? You need to show your kids that eating the right foods actually will heal the body, because I did it. I feel amazing. And now they know that they can do it. Are you going to show your kids how to do it? We are this way because our parents learned to cook this garbage food, and now we have adopted cooking this garbage food, eating fast food rather than eating home, eating all the garbage rather than eating packaged garbage, rather than eating real food. Are you going to teach your kids how to have generational health? Put it in the comments below if you plan to do that. And it starts with eating the right thing. So click on this video and get started in eating healthy today. So click on that link right now. Click it. I'm going to meet you over there.